So, if you want to do a no damage run for Armstrong, you also have to take no damage in these 2 beginning phases. In the first phase, the only thing you need to watch out for is when he starts using unblockable attacks, because he also gets extra armor that makes your sword bounce off him. And one of those 2 unblockable attacks is an area of effect attack. So if you hit him with your sword in that time, it bounces off, and that makes it dangerous because your dodge move also has you swinging your sword, so if you try to dodge right next to him, you'll just have your sword bounce off, and you'll still be near him right when he pulls off that attack. So for taking no damage here, I mean, the way this part advances is when you take so much damage that you have only 0.1% health left, and then you do the whole punch him really fast QTE stuff. But you can also have this part advance by taking no damage for a certain amount of time. The amount of time is different depending on the difficulty level. It's like 2.5 minutes on Revengeance mode. But if you just avoid taking any damage for a while, he'll eventually pull out an attack that is completely unavoidable, but just knocks you over and doesn't actually deal any damage. And that'll move you on to the next part. Right here. No matter where you are. Knocks you over, but it doesn't cause you to take any damage. And then with the final actual fight with him, number 1 thing, dodge move is your friend, because he has a ton of openings, because nearly every attack of his has a fair amount of charge up time. Also, you want to be careful when dodging his football tackle, because if you dodge like when you're right next to him, or just dodge really early in his attack, he can actually fly right past you and then turn on a dime and then try to grab you from behind. Also, this attack here, if you didn't parry counter that, you'll get this instead. It's also dangerous when grabbing your sword, because sometimes he'll be doing like a flying kick right at you the second you grab that sword, and makes it hard to parry him. So when getting an S rank, you also need to get a fair amount of BP, like 800 points. And you're not going to get that just from combos alone. I didn't mention in the main run, but when you cut up all these bits of Metal Gear he throws at you, the debris that crashes down in a second, any second. This debris that falls down, each one drops a nano paste. So if you successfully do that blade mode segment, you can pick up 4 nano pastes, which is good if you're getting your ass kicked, but also each one gives you an extra 100 BP when you pick up excess ones. Also, combo requirement, 100 hits for Armstrong. It's possible to do without doing this, but this is the easiest way, because Ripper mode makes gives you like the super slow motion. Just knock him out of him regenerating his health, equip some electrolyte packs, go into Ripper mode, and then just hit him a ton before you can do anything, and just refill your blade mode meter when needed. You should probably only need 2 electrolyte packs if you have all the blade mode upgrades. Blade canceling also super helpful, just for getting in lots of extra hits and also for avoiding some of his attacks. This attack here, when he has the craters, or the crater form around him, is the one that causes these exploding cracks to appear. When he just has the wisps form around him, that's when he forms the cracks that form the flame wall. Also, the flame wall, if you run into it, it does damage, which is why him creating that super small arena is so dangerous. Because he can punch you into the flame wall, that'll cause you to take a lot of damage. Or if it's just small and you're trying to dodge around him, you can accidentally, if you're not keeping tabs on the wall, you can accidentally dodge into the flame wall and take a bunch of damage. It is possible to dodge through it with invincibility frames, but you need to be like an inch away from touching that wall, or else you won't have enough frames to get all the way through it. And when you're going for getting 800 BP, you'll really only need to do this blade mode segment twice, because those 4 nano pastes will be enough to get you 800 BP. Yeah, as long as you see the wisps around him, as long as you get enough distance away from him, that attack will probably not hit you. But if you don't identify that attack until he's about to hit the ground, it can be really tricky to avoid, because then the cracks actually start to follow you, and they move at a speed that kind of fakes you out and makes you think you need to turn around so that you don't get hit by it, but that actually causes you to run straight into them. If they're really close to you, you can actually ninja slide, and that'll give you enough of a boost to get past them. Also, blade canceling, getting extra hits here. Another instance of blade canceling be really useful in a second. Right here, I'm stuck in right there with that kick. If I hadn't canceled out of that kick, I would have had no way to avoid his unblockable grab, because I wouldn't be able to dodge out of that, and I wouldn't be able to parry out of that because it's a grab. So I was able to cancel out of it and then dodge. Also, you might recognize this little bit of the fight, because I actually used it in the main video. The fight you see in the previous video was actually made out of about 5 different takes, I think. About 5 takes, because I had to try multiple times to get musical cues that I wanted, because I thought they sounded cool. Yeah, you can either dodge to the side or actually just run straight forward, because if you run straight forward, you'll just run right underneath it and avoid it. I like to just dodge to the side because it gets me closer to Armstrong, though. And that's it. Getting no damage while fighting Armstrong is pretty difficult, especially the way I did it, which was during a first playthrough when you do not have any attack upgrades to chip his health down much faster. Which is also the reason why it's hard to get the 5-minute S rank, because the amount of time it takes to meet all the other requirements makes it difficult to get 5 minutes. Also because it's counting time during those first 2 phases as well. So if you want to get through the second phase really fast, you need to take damage really fast to skip through all of it. But then you can't get no damage.